all take the reins to make that a much better run Green Shed. So thank you, thank you. Okay, moving on. Are there any resident announcements?
Yes.
I want to congratulate all of you who brought your coffee cup today. We're working toward, good job. We're working towards eliminating paper cups. In the course of a year, we probably, just at coffee hour, go through about 2,000 paper cups. So if you can bring your cup, that saves Fox Run from buying the cups, and it saves the landfill from taking the cups when we're done. So try to remember to bring your cup. Thank you.
The Fox Run book discussion is not today, it is next Friday. The Fox Run book discussion is January 27th. In your bulletin it says it is today, but it has been changed until next Friday.
Thank you. Okay, are there any?
Thank you.
In 2 weeks at the next club, we're going to have a very good program about the South Buffalo Railway and the Steel Museum, which I understand is going to be an exciting presentation. So I hope you put it on your calendar.
I would like to thank Judy Wiederman for coming to and being our guest speaker yesterday at the Foxy Hat Ladies Luncheon. If you haven't been to one, you need to come. There'll be another one in May, the 3rd, we're hoping the 3rd Thursday in May. But it is a delightful time. We say our prayers, eat our lunch, and hear our speaker.
Okay, I'm going to invite Lisa up. So quiet. Oh, there you go.
Good morning, everybody. We just wanted to take just a minute here. We get a lot of questions about nutrition and wellness over here at Independent Living. And we just want to take a minute to make sure we all know who Anne Marie is, and she's going to share a little bit about what, how to contact her and things that she provides here for all of our independent residents at Fox Run. So we just want to take a couple moments of your morning here. So here is Anne Marie.
Hi, so I'm Anne Marie Nowicki. I'm the dietitian. Oh, is this better?
Yes. I can hear it different.
Okay. I'm Anne Marie Nowicki. I'm the dietitian over at the health center, and I work with my counterpart, Allison. She is the assistant director of dining and diet tech. So we are able, not good with this, I don't get much practice.
You're wonderful.
Okay. So we do work primarily next door, but we are available for guidance. So if there's something on your mind you want to work on, maybe getting more protein into your diet, just something that you have been thinking about and not sure who to ask, we are totally able to come over, have an appointment with you. I can give you my number is, I know you won't remember it, but 508-2163 is our extension. And then we're going to have our business cards, thank you, out at the hostess stand. So if you do want to get in touch with us, make an appointment, we are here and able to help. Also, we are going to bring back our nutrition talks every month. We just had one this week. We did tea and hydration. Yay! So it was very fun. We gave out a talk and a smoothie. We're going to have one February 15th. It's going to be on the Mediterranean diet, so make sure you stay tuned for that. And then in March, we're having our National Nutrition Month, so we'll have a couple things, maybe fun menu items, and then another talk. And then each month we're going to give out a flyer. So that first week of the new month, check your mailboxes. It's going to have a different topic every month, and then it'll also have the date of the nutrition talk in there as well. So you can stay tuned to what we're going to be doing for that month. Okay, and that's all I got. Thank you.
Does anybody have any questions for Anna Marie or Lisa? Go once, twice, so.
All right.
Okay, our next up is Jill. Yay!
Good morning, everyone. This will be brief. I just wanted to announce that we are going to be rolling out the Fox Run mobile app on February 1st. We will have some time in the event center from 9 to 12 for you to come by, and we can assist you with downloading the app and kind of showing you a few things with the app. We'll have a frequently asked questions page so that you can kind of refer to that. I'm actually going to ask at my next meeting, I have some test users out there. They have given me great feedback. We're still working on making some changes, but you know, it's in really good shape, so we'd like to roll that out to everyone. But we're going to ask the test users if they're available to come and help your friends also download the app and be available for questions and, you know, kind of explain some of the things that they've discovered. So we're really excited about this. It'll be helpful, hopefully. There's menus and you can make reservations and order your pickup through the app, or a maintenance work order as well, things like that. So are there any questions?
What was the date again?
February 1st from 9 to 12. We can do a sign-up sheet if you'd like, so that we're not, you know, so we kind of have a schedule and people aren't waiting too long to get this done. So we'll have a sign-up sheet. Thank you.
Hopefully many of you will download this app. It's so easy to use. I can even use it, and I'm not the greatest at technology. But it's so nice because you can see what the weather is at Fox Run. You can check the menu, so you can just sit on your couch and look what's for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. It's really great. So thank you for everything, Jill. It's been a huge job for you, and it's not really your, I mean, it is your job, but it's like a new part of your job. So thank you for all your hard work, because it was a lot of work. Okay, I am going to bring up Miss the very own Mary Lou. Woo! Come on down.
So I think about a month ago, we shot a couple commercials at Fox Run. So we went to a couple residents' rooms. We forced you to have coffee at the bistro and did all sorts of stuff. So these are 3 of the commercials that were made, and they're going to run on channels 4 and channel 2. So, and I can email them to anyone if they want me to email them. So there's residence apartments. Yeah, they're pretty cool. So we're pretty proud of them. We finally got a commercial made that we really love. And without further ado,
live life at your own pace and rest assured with continuous and compassionate life care. Fox Run at Orchard Park has everything you need so you and your loved ones can embrace a worry-free retirement lifestyle. Here, community members enjoy security and enrichment within a community of caring people. At Fox Run, life care is more than just a plan. It's a promise to provide peace of mind for you and your loved ones. Our complete continuum of retirement care includes assisted living, memory care, and skilled nursing. So even if your health changes, your address won't. We have endless choices in size, style, and location, so you can relax in a home right for you. Live life to its fullest at Fox Run at Orchard Park. Live life at your own pace and rest assured with continuous and compassionate life care. Fox Run at Orchard Park has everything you need so you and your loved ones can embrace a worry-free retirement lifestyle. At Fox Run, life care is more than just a plan. It's a promise to provide peace of mind for you and your loved ones. So even if your health changes, your address won't. Live life to the fullest at Fox Run at Orchard Park.
We already saw those. There's only 2.
Okay. So there's more to come, but there's some of them. So, whoa, hi. Whoopsie. Did you turn that down? Okay. So I want to introduce, most of you should know Michelle Birmingham. She is the marketing, advertising specialist, coordinator. I don't know. She keeps changing her title. We just roll with it. So she is in charge of the art gallery pretty much solely. With a few residents help her out. So she's going to explain to you and talk to you about the art gallery. And so come on up, Michelle Birmingham. And many of you may have met her children in the dining room, Ingrid and Wilson. So hopefully they were good servers.
Oh, yeah.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
If you do not know me, my name is Michelle Birmingham. I'm the advertising and marketing specialist here at Fox Run. And the other morning, I was talking to Bill about my presentation today, and he goes, wait, when is it? And I said, it's Friday at Coffee Hour. And he goes, Michelle, I'm not going to be there. And I said, what? He's like, no, I'm going to be out of town. So he goes, I'll watch you on YouTube. So how about on the count of 3, we all say hi to Bill. 1, 2, 3. Hi, Bill! Anyway, all right. A little bit about myself. I started at Fox Run in June of 2011. I was part-time. My children were very small, and I would put them on the school bus, and I would come to work here, and then I would leave about 2 o'clock in the afternoon and go home and get them off the school bus. So I really, truly had the best of both worlds with being able to be a professional, but also foremost to be mom. As my kids grew older, I was able to add more and more time here at Fox Run, and with that time came more responsibility, and here we are today, almost 12 years later.
What did you feed Wilson to make him grow?
You know, it's the 3 a.m. feeding, still at 19 years old, that makes him grow. One of my main job descriptions, or I should say, that I work on here at Fox Run is the art gallery. And number one, I am not an artist. When I was in grade school, I'm not even close to an artist. When I was in grade school, I would bring home this really lovely painting that I was so proud of. And my mom's like, honey, you drew Star Wars. And I'm like, no, that's an orange grove, Mom. So I am more of a visual person. When I'm designing our advertisements and working with our graphics person, she's wonderful. If she ever retires, I'm going to have to retire because she can hear how I'm envisioning a final product. And even though I can't really draw, I can verbalize what I want to see, what feeling I want to portray. I want what you to feel. And she really, really works well. And again, if she ever retires, I'm going to have to retire. But hopefully she's not going anywhere. Especially when we were designing the t-shirts during COVID. And I was literally pencil and paper trying to get my point across. But anyway, so on to the gallery. Number one, no two artists are alike, and I think everybody can appreciate that. Their techniques, their personality, nothing is the same. And so every 3 months when you walk into the gallery, you're going to feel something totally different. And since 2011, I have learned by dealing with all these different artists how to appreciate what other people's art is. And the one, back in 2015, I believe it was, we had an artist who all of her work was very beige and then with charcoal, deep, deep. It almost looked like she was making waves out of tree roots or veins or something. And I just did not understand this show. I came to her presentation, and it turned out that this woman had suffered third-degree severe burns across her whole body as a child and spent months and months and months at Children's Hospital. And so her sketches that kind of looked like waves made out of veins, she was drawing her scars as part of a healing process. So that really taught me the importance of taking a minute and truly looking at what's on the wall, and then having the opportunity to listen to these artists and understand where they were coming from. And that to me was the biggest eye-opener ever, because you can't just walk through and be like, oh, I don't like that, you know, but there's always a story behind it. So that one was one that definitely really got me to appreciate how people are able to take something from their brain, their heart, their emotion, and put it on paper. Our current artist is another one that I really encourage you. Next Thursday is her opening, Barbara Rickard. She was known as the Chip Strip Queen. She painted all the murals on all of the bars in downtown Buffalo. So what you see in the gallery is actually, those are replicas of her public work. And not only did she do full outsides of buildings, but she did bar tops, she did ceilings inside. She was known in the 80s, her work was everywhere downtown Buffalo. And so if you have a minute and you go into the gallery, you can really see how she uses different size brushes to make different strokes, and her story is quite amazing. So again, if you are available on Thursday, please come to the reception. You'll just learn so much, and then hopefully be able to go back into the gallery and say, I get it. Okay, so a little bit about our gallery. We currently, this is our 65th show. Wow. Yay. That's a lot of artists we've had for our walls, which is pretty awesome. We've had a fair amount of our very own Fox Run community members have solo shows. Bob Cornelius in 2010, Sheila Landon, 2011, Ken Gernjost, 2011, Jean Donovan, 2014, Diane Nudie, if you'd like to stand, you are 2015. Dorothy Marker was 2017. And in 22, our new marketing assistant, Erin Loganathan, she was an artist and then became an employee. So we have so much talent within our walls here at Fox Run. In 2012, we did something really kind of out of the box kind of thinking. We brought in a Buffalo famous photographer, Katie Schneider, and she took a group of 10 Fox Run residents and 2 staff, and they went to the Newton's farm. Does anybody still remember Frank and Rosetta Newton? Okay, wonderful. So for those of you who don't know the Newtons, they lived on an iconic 1900s farm on Bunting Road in Orchard Park. And Frank Newton was part of the Erie County Fair from the inception of it, and farming was just very, very important to them. And Frank, though lived here, he would spend every day at the farm. So the photographer took about 10 people to the farm, and the object, it was an exercise, how different people perceived the same time, the same place, and the same subject matter, but yet their photos were completely different from one another. You'll see some of these photos when you walk down the breezeway. There's some of those photos there from that show. And there are also some upstairs in the north side. And we had this lovely reception. Katie helped us professionally hang and print everything in the show. It was really, really, really kind of neat to see what caught everybody's eye. In 2014, we had probably one of our to-date most special shows. Art therapist Diane Manchetti worked with members in our skilled nursing, and she worked a couple of months, I'm thinking. It was quite some time. We had 26 residents from skilled nursing who had beautiful paintings. We framed them, and they had a true show. Their families and friends were invited, and it was really pretty spectacular to see art therapy in motion. And people who may not have been speaking much anymore were painting these beautiful flowers and other bouquets and sunsets, and you could see people who maybe hadn't been able to communicate very well, all of a sudden they were finding joy in their artistic expression. So that was really, really a pretty special show. And that show is still upstairs in Skilled. In 2018, we had our first community-wide art show, and it was called Community of Works. We had, oh gosh, a lot. It was so beautiful, so much fun to put together. But again, when I talk about the different personalities and how painting can be so different and so personal, these are just a few of the names that participated in the show. Jan Brunner, so if you're here, if you want to raise your hand, Loretta Clark, Jim and Marja Kunsthorn, Jean Donovan, Lois Fleck, Coletta Glass, Carol Gumbel, Susan Halstead, Lucille Kornacki, Barbara Land, Don and Dottie Redette, Jean Rupp, Mrs. Schwabel, and Sid Weinschreider. So that's only half the list. So it was really, really impressive. It was so fun working with everybody. And the only rule was it had to be something that the community member painted themselves. It couldn't have been from a loved one or their favorite piece that they picked up traveling. It had to have been their artwork. It was neat. So, the other couple of things I wanted just to say was, for me, one of my favorite things is watching you watch the new artist. So when the new artist is here hanging their shows, I love seeing the expressions on your faces, because I kind of not personally take it, but I'm like, oh boy, what are they gonna think? So for me, watching you see it go up, and I'll see you nod your head or shake your head, and hopefully that you do take the time, as I said before, to really get to understand what's on the wall. My summers in college, I would go to Nantucket and I would waitress. And I had every Tuesday off for about 6 summers. And no joke, I think it rained every single Tuesday. So my friends that I had gone to Nantucket with, we would do 2 things on Tuesdays. We would go throughout the island and figure out who made the best Bloody Mary, but then we'd also go into the galleries and enjoy the art and just pretend like we were vacationing instead of working. And we had a favorite gallery. It was the Molly D Gallery. It was right down on the Strait Wharf, for those of you who know Nantucket. And we would just go in there all the time and just like gaze and daydream and just really kind of fell in love with her work. So fast forward to 2015 maybe, Molly D, I learned, was from Hamburg, New York. And I was like, wait a minute, this woman has her artwork in ski towns and beach towns, and she's from Hamburg. And when her show was here, I felt like a kid looking at a movie star. I'm like, oh my gosh, you know, so that was personally probably one of my most favorite shows. Another really neat history for us was the year that we did the 47 covers of Buffalo Screen magazine, because Buffalo Screen covers so many diverse topics, and their covers have always been quite spectacular. And we had all the walls covered with 47 covers from their magazine, and they were blown up to a nice poster size, so you could really see the detail. And in my office, I do have a poster from that show, and it was the dressing from the 60s and the swing coats and stuff. It's pretty cool. Another really interesting artist that we had was Charlie Clough. He is from New York City, and he came back to Buffalo to help take care of his mother. While he was here, he started the Cloughalo Institute and decided to put together a couple of books on his painting. And what he was working on at the time was layers of paint, let them dry, and then put more and more layers, and then he would do something and something else, and then make this amazing piece of artwork. But what was neat about it is that he invited people from Western New York to go to the Roycroft and to take part in this. And he would have these 8-foot, 12-foot long tables filled with the canvas and paint. And you could use your arms, your feet, you could get on the table and whatever. And then he would invite in another group, and he published several books. Again, our own Diane Nudie, she took part in this. She is in the book that was published in 2016, Cloughalo Hamburg. And if you want to talk to Diane about rolling around in paint, then we can talk to her afterwards. Another amazing resident that we had live here was Dorothy Markert. Really, she is an emeritus Roycroft screen printer and illustrator. And she really got the movement for screen printing going. And when you walked into her apartment, you just kind of stopped in time. Her husband had made all of their furniture, and it was all craftsman style. It was absolutely stunning, just looking at the detail in the furniture, and then all of her walls were all of her screen prints. So it was really like taking a step into time and a history lesson, just listening to her talk about how she started in a factory to how she then pretty much coined screen printing and how it's done today. Another interesting group were the paper cutters. I don't know if anybody remembers that show, but all of our walls, I mean, we're not talking cut out snowflakes. We are talking about 3D pieces of paper that told stories. Some people did it in paper, some people had crocheted it. Again, it was just pretty spectacular to see that kind of talent hanging on our walls. We've actually had a jury show here. That was the Weavers Guild of Buffalo for their 50th anniversary. They are coming back. They asked to have their 55th anniversary celebration here, so that will be in a couple of years. I think we can all agree on one thing, that photographer John Harrigan was probably just the right person to have here during COVID. So for 18 months, you were able to either look at a nice beach and ocean and pretend that you were far, far away, or look in the mountains and pretend you were hiking and seeing through the blah blah that was going on in the world. But of all the shows, I'll never forget it, because he hung his show March 1st. He had his opening, I believe, March 4th or 5th, and the next day we shut down. So it was just really perfect timing for everybody to have something nice during that time in our life. I owe a big thank you. These ladies really helped me when I did take over the gallery, kind of steering me in a direction to go, steering me to their contacts. Ellen Ahrens, Barb Olant, Marion Helbrin, Jean Donovan, and then also Jane Roubaix and Ann Moore. They, when I took the gallery over, their collective knowledge really helped us get up and running and keeping the type of art, the caliber, I should say, of artists that we have that keep coming every year. My big announcement is that December of 2024 through February of 2025, we are going to have another community art show. So there's been lots of people asking for this, and it's on the books. If anybody is interested in helping to put this together or have ideas, please come see me. I would love to put a little team together. It does take work. It's not something that just happens overnight. So I know it's a year away, year plus away, but really, I want to start talking, I want to get your ideas. Do people want to show their loved ones' work if they are not with us anymore? Do we want to keep it just for your work that you've done? So it doesn't have to be exactly like the last show, so that's why I'm asking for your input. Does anybody have any questions? Janice?
Am I right to say that the last show you only had one piece per resident?
Two.
Oh.
And unless you had a large quilt.
Can you repeat the question?
The question was how many pieces of art could each person have? And the last show was 2 pieces of hanging art or 1 quilt. Just because the quilts take up so much room, we wanted to be able to have everybody have enough space. Mrs. Dare?
I've always been impressed with your receptions that you have for the artists when the artist comes here. But I was wondering, is there any way of making it so it doesn't conflict with dinner?
Meaning maybe starting in the gallery at 6:30, then starting the presentation at 7?
Well,
later.
is that what you do now?
Well, now the artist is in the gallery at 6 o'clock, and that's where you get to mingle and chat with the artist. And then at 6:30, the presentation starts in here. But
Some people don't clear the dining room until 7.
no. Okay, so we can definitely work on that. I think it's probably something that just has rolled over from years and years and years. That if people, if I don't
Just
hear.
cutting out, 50 people.
Sure. But no, that's not been brought up to me for quite some time, so we will take this into consideration.
And second question, how do you, I know you're scheduled way ahead, but how do you make a decision with so many possible choices?
Repeat the question.
The question was, how do we make the choices with so many artists to choose from? You know what? We're starting to actually get a reputation, and I can just call people, and they're just saying yes. But also what's nice, I'll say, well, my first opening is March 1st of 2025. And that kind of relieves people, because it's not something that you can just throw together in a matter of a couple of weeks. So I can call somebody and say, I have this date available 2.5 years from now, and they're like, perfect. Or they might even say, you know what, summer's not good, could I take winter of that year? So that's one of the reasons for booking so far in advance. Mrs. Bolter?
Would you give us some history of the name of the art gallery, and will this name continue, or would it ever be changed?
The very original, this is a long story, so I'm going to try to make it short. Originally, the art gallery was called the Gita Higgins Art Gallery. And years went on, her memory is still here, but we have changed the name to the Community Gallery at Fox Run, so it's more about you all.
But isn't the placard still there?
It is. It is. So it's.
Who is that? Who is that lady?
She is Trip Higgins, who was Mary Lou's predecessor. It was his wife.
And she passed away from cancer. And Trip had 2 young boys that he was raising. And rather than having that room just a collection of walkers and scooters, it's so much more beautiful as an artist. And Gilda was an artist.
Gita.
She was an artist. So it seemed, I think that was sort of that natural thing.
Yeah.
Something needs to be written up about this so everybody knows the history of the name of it, what it's called now, and the information that Barb just gave us that's excellent.
Okay, we can do that. Are there any other questions? Well, then that's a wrap, folks.
I just want to thank Michelle for this excellent presentation. I think it was great to know the history and all the wonderful artists that we have had. So if you want to be involved with the art gallery, you can contact Michelle. Her desk is right behind Pamela. And I'm going to say, go Bills!
Okay.